The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're now joined by Jason and his wife, Ashley. And Jason, wow,
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Such an awesome couple.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. We're really excited.
And obviously you've had a roller coaster with your addiction. Have you been able to find sobriety since your relapse?
Yes, I have 93 days sobriety today.
Nice.
And I was just going to say, I want to applaud you. We've spent a lot of days on this stage talking about the difficulties of overcoming addiction. You acknowledge you relapsed, but now 90 plus days sober. During this period of time, what was different?
You know, this was a life or death thing again. This was a super dark period where prior to this, I was out partying doing this. This was isolation. I've had a taste of sobriety, you know, so I know what it feels like to have recovery. And I wanted that back.
What does it take to get to that place? You've been through it once. I'm sure a lot of things going through your head, like, I can't do it. No, yes, I can do it. I want to be back where I was before. I would think it's very difficult.
The way I look at addiction is it's a disease of denial. I would be lying to myself and saying that I could do this, but I can't. And I was contemplating. That's the thing, is when I went to take the prescription, I wasn't looking for an out to actually go abuse something, right? And that's the thing, is I actually went there and I went to the pharmacist, or to my doctor, because I was so overwhelmed. I had lost balance, I'd lost structure. Things had got really well due to sobriety. And, you know, when I started taking that, I knew better. I was taking pharmaceutical synthetic grade meth.
So this is the Adderall that you're talking about?
The Adderall, correct.
Yeah, initially, and then you would offset that stimulating effect with the alcohol. That's the...
Correct, yeah. So I would it was about a year to a year and a half of the Adderall that I was taking, and that's when, you know, I was like, I can't take a benzodiazepine because I'm gonna have a heart attack. So I thought that, okay, well, I'll start drinking. I needed to start sleeping. It was really scary this time, like I said. When I used to drink before, you have to understand, I would go out and I was basically allergic to alcohol. It'd break out in handcuffs, right? I mean, that was kind of the modality that would come with it. But this time, I was working with very, you know, sought out professionals, doctors that are ASAM certified in addiction medicine, and people didn't know.
I'm sure you could not have done it without your wife.
Not at all. She's literally the backbone, and without her, I wouldn't be here.
But Ashley, it wasn't easy,
Yeah.
was it?
No, I would love to hear your role in all this, because I think that's also kind of shedding a very different light on addiction, especially for a lot of our viewers out there. I think it's really amazing and helpful to know your role in all of this and how it's impacted your marriage and where you've come from that.
I think it's really important for people out there to understand that there's always the role of the addict, and they have been, you know, almost manipulating you into thinking a certain way and doing a certain thing, and you lose yourself. You become like a shell of a person over the years. And that happens a lot in families. There's always the addict and there's the codependent. That's how it goes. And with us, it just got into a place where we just kept doing the dance, you know? The manipulation, the lies. It was like I always just wanted to believe that he was going to change, you know. Well, if only I had this, he would get sober. If only we had a baby, he would get sober. That's not how it works. And until I could realize that and really put up my boundaries, nothing was going to change. That's when the breaking point happened, and that's when there was a shift. And I finally said, you know, if I'm not going to do this for myself, because I was so sick, I could have lived with him drinking the rest of my life until he probably would have died. Or I would have died because I was seriously, physically so sick and so stressed out. But it got to the point where I would see him drinking during the day, and he was holding my daughter, and I thought to myself, oh my God, like, I can't let this happen again. She doesn't have a choice. I have a choice, but she doesn't. So it was really important for me to finally say, you know what? If I can't do it for myself, I've got to do it for her, and I've got to set these boundaries, and that's the day I kicked him out. And that's when things started changing and made a turn, for sure.
Yeah, I just want to say, I mean, I think it's very important people understand this is a primary, chronic, progressive, and oftentimes fatal disease. And I mean, I don't call it an epidemic anymore. We're dealing with a massacre, you know what I mean? And there's, you look at the charts of the death rates, there is no decline at all. And it's just doubling. And that's, you know, for us is our goal here is to try to spread hope around this. I mean, because I wouldn't want the feelings I had to be on my worst enemies.